it's Deb here, and I have got another Project Life process video for you. Now before I get into this, I just want to explain a few things and where I'm going with my spread this week. So March, you would have seen my spread, my first spread that was last week. Yes, the week before, the first week. I can't even remember. Anyway, this was my first spread using the March kits, and you'll be able to see that on the Kitaholic Kits Facebook page. So the next page, I have got this page protector that's got the 9 3x4s, and this week I don't have that many photos from the week, so I'm using one of these page protectors that's got the 2 4x6 and the rest 3x4s. And my photos, sorry about the glare, my photos will lay out something like this, something like that, and then I've got this one photo. So there's a couple of options if you don't have many photos to fill up a full 2-page spread. First option is just do the one side, and because I'm doing it monthly, I could easily just put these photos here and just keep carrying on as I document more. The second option was to make a layout with this one and put the layout here, 9x12 piece of cardstock, and I could just stick these to the back of that cardstock and have the layout on that side. And the option that I'm going with is I'm going to sort of make a layout with this, but I am not going to take these out of the pocket and stick them on the back side of a 9x12 piece of cardstock. I'm going to make a layout that I can actually cut up and put into my Project Life album. So it'll be a layout, but it'll be all 3x4 cards put into the pockets. I hope that makes sense. Also, if you didn't have that many photos, you could dedicate one side of your spread to a story for the week. Yeah, there's lots of different things you could do, but I wanted to try this because I really love that look of I'm so sorry for that glare there. I really love the look of a layout that's being cut up and put into a pocket page protector. So that's where I'm going, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just trimming the white border off my photo. I wasn't sure whether I wanted a white border on my photo when I first printed it, and I picked out the pattern paper that I want to use, and I've also cut down a 9x12 piece of cardstock. I'm going to put a piece of this pattern paper at the top of my layout, and I'm just roughly measuring it. I cut the first bit a bit too short, so I swap it out with the other piece that I cut there because I want the photo to be down towards the bottom a bit more. And I have grabbed one of them frames from that big frame pack that we got, and the other blue frame was from the ephemera pack. And the photo doesn't quite cover that blue frame, but I fixed that by cutting the frame and joining it back up, making it smaller. Now the chipboard frame was quite thick, so I just peeled a few layers off the back there. And it's still dimensional, but not as thick as before. And I grabbed the other, oh, it was a 3x4 card from the Project Life cards that we got, and I'm just going to cut a few butterflies out because I'm going to use them as embellishments on my page. So just sticking down the pattern paper at the top of the layout, I do pull in the that thin gold washi that we got in last month's kit and use that as well. And this is where I just cut the frame and then join it back up so it's not as wide and mats my photo a bit better. And I just joined that back up by gluing it back together. So this is where I grabbed the thin gold washi and I just put a line of it where the pattern paper ends on the cardstock there, and I do use my glossy accents to stick it down because I'm finding that getting down on the roll, it's not as sticky as when I first started using it. Now I'm going to put a bit of the mist that we got in the mixed media kit down on the bottom part of the layout. Because I'm cutting it down to 3x4 cards, I wanted a bit of colour down there, so no bit was plain and there was something on each card when it goes back into the pockets. And I absolutely love this mist. It always amazes me the way it goes on and then the colour it dries. It's really, really pretty. So now I'm ready to start sticking everything down. I just use my glossy accents to stick all my elements down because I will be cutting the page into them 3x4 cards. And I did cut a bit of the chipboard off because I didn't need the full the full chipboard behind the photo because it won't be seen. So another idea too, instead of doing a layout or continuing on with your project life like I was mentioning at the beginning, was you could also put a large photo. If you wanted to do a double-sided, a two-page spread, sorry, you could put a large photo on one side and tell a story that way, and have your other photos from the rest of the week on the other side of the spread. So I am just gluing down my photo and I am using glossy accents on the back of that too. As I said, I want everything to be really, really stuck down for when I start cutting this apart. Now I knew I wanted to use these gold glitter, I don't know where that came from, glitter alphas. So I kind of fussed about with the placement of them. I do grab my ruler out in a minute. At the moment I'm sticking down those butterflies that I fussy cut out. And I do have little pencil marks at the bottom of my page there. I was just lining my ruler up with them because that's where I'm going to cut the page. So I didn't want to slice into the butterflies too much. So I'm just making sure it's on a part that will be a 3x4 card and won't be sliced down the middle. Same with the photo and the title. I want to make sure that nothing gets cut at in an awkward angle, like straight through her face, or it does get cut off just below her neck, but I'm fine with that. I just didn't want anything being sliced straight through her face, so I did mark my page with pencil to give me some guidelines as to where to place things. And I'm sorry if that sounded a little bit rambly. Now, because I wanted the title to be on the photo, I found that the alphas were a little bit wide, so I've just cut the H in half, and what I do is I just overlap it to make the font a bit thinner, and I cut down the A, the T, and the other H in the title so it all fits along the bottom of the photo. So now I'm adding some of the wood veneer butterflies. I knew that I was going to use that wood veneer word week on the other side of the spread, so I wanted to bring some wood veneer onto this side, and just using my ruler too, because those wood veneer are very, very thick, and I didn't want to have to cut through them when I went to cut down my page. And just adding some gold lame color shine. I do add some sequins later on, but that was after I'd finished my other spread. So I did sit on it overnight. I was really, really reluctant to cut into this and cut it down, and I thought, no, this is what I wanted to do, let's just go for it. I pulled my guillotine out, and I believe I bought this from This Works. I got it when I first seriously got into scrapbooking 12-13 years ago, so I'm not sure if they still sell it, but I wanted something sharp, and my normal paper trimmer would not give me such a clean cut as this would. And a few little bits and pieces kind of came up and came off, like the butterfly. I think I got the wings, just the tip of the wings on the paper butterfly, and that was easily fixed. I just glued them back on. So it's all ready to go into the page protector. I do find that these, I did add the date, to the bottom first, but I do find that these pockets are not 3x4, so I had to trim a little bit off each card, and it was only a really, really thin strip off each one to fit it in the pocket. I cut all that out so you didn't have to see me trimming each card, and here it is all put into the page protector. And I wanted to add some journaling, but I didn't want to directly add it onto the front of the layout, so I'm going to make it a tag. And all I did was grab one of my tag dies. I didn't even pull my Cuttlebug or Big Shot out. I just traced around the shape of the tag, cut it out, and punched a hole in it. And I'm going to tuck it up behind the top right card there, so it's a little bit of hidden journaling up behind my layout. And I wanted a gold reinforcer for the tag, so I just grabbed the number 9 off the alpha sheet and cut its little tail off, and I had a little circle for a reinforcer for my tag. And I do journal and add some twine to this tag, and that'll be in the next video. So that's it for this video, and the next one will be the Project Life kind of traditional page. And here oh, excuse me, here it is slowed down so you can see what it looks like in the page protector. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Hi everyone, welcome to my second video for my Project Life spread. I'm going to try and get through this quickly because it has been raining on and off, and the back veranda is a tin roof, and the roof that's over the pool area is also tin, so when the rain comes down hard it's like very loud inside and it's deafening almost. So what I'm doing here is I've got my cards picked out, so I've only got 2 cards for this side, and I grabbed that wood veneer word, the week, and I really wanted to use it, but it doesn't fit going horizontally across 3x4 cards, so I decided to put it up the side, and I wanted it to say this week, so I grabbed the alphas and I'm going to put the word this over the top of the word week. And I did a little bit of journaling with my typewriter, and it's just a few little highlights of the week that I'm going to pop onto this card, and I'm just cutting them up and getting them ready to stick down. Before I stick them down, I did want to add some gold lame splatters onto the actual wood veneer word and the cards, because if you saw in the previous video I used the gold lame on the layout that I created. And I'm just sticking down the wood veneer word, and then I'm going to pop the, and sorry for my head that's in the frame, I'm going to pop the alphas just on top, so the bottom of each alpha is just sitting at the top of the word week. And I do use my glossy accents to stick them down because I don't want them moving anywhere. Just sticking down those lines of journaling, and going to give you a freeze frame of what that looks like. And because I did the typing on that one, I decided to type on my top left card there, and just put a little story there of something that happened on that day. So because I only had them 2 cards to try and add information in for the week, I went to my go-to of putting a label onto the actual photo and adding a bit of journaling that way. And I feel that I pretty much got all my journaling out that I wanted with the 2 cards and the bits of info that I do put on the photos, as well as the layout that I created. So I do grab a sticker from the sticker sheet and pop that on this photo here and add some journaling. And I should say that the bottom right photo there, I used a label from that big 12 by 12 Cocoa Vanilla Studio a part sheet as well as a sticker from the sticker sheet for that bottom one. So I'm going to add some sequins and some of these rhinestones to a few of my cards, and I actually do carry a few of those sequins over onto my layout as well. So if you haven't seen the first part of this video, go ahead and go and watch it. I do some talking at the start and explain why I created the layout the way I have this week. So just adding a few sequins over onto my layout just to match the right hand side of the spread, and that's pretty much it. I also add my journaling to my tag and add some gold and white twine that we got in the Christmas kit from Kitaholic Kits to the tag as well, and really that's it for my spread this week. So I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if I sound rushed, but I can hear the rain off in the distance. It's getting closer. Be sure to check out the first video if you haven't, and check out the links below to go visit Kitaholic Kits, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye.